Hello all, welcome to www.bspsolutions.com. In the series of planning tickets solving, today we are going to see following tickets. The first one, if you see, we have to create user tabby with planner role and allow him to do sales planning. There is second ticket which is also correlated with this one. There are two planner. The ticket is like this, that we have to assign two planners, first tabby who can only view sales east entity, and second is Alina who can view sales west. So both of the tickets deal with access control. There we have to create users and we have to restrict them or allow them to do certain tasks. So before we start solving these tickets, I will clear the fundamentals of different sort of users in the Oracle PBCS. So there are 4 types of predefined functional roles in the application. The first one is service administrator. Now, service administrator performs all planning functional activities, including granting roles to users. This is the highest level of the role, and this role should be granted to functional experts who need to create and administer planning business process components. Second is power user. Now such users views and interacts with data. This is also considered one of the high level access to several functional areas within an environment, and this power user role should be granted to department heads and business unit managers, and also to business users who are in charge of a region, who needs to basically control the approval process. You can hear in the image also, you can see that service administrator, I just told you, it is the topmost level of the role, and here you can see a service administrator is having all the other users under him. So he is the one who allows access and grants permissions to all the users. This is basically administered by the service administrator. Second, then I just told you the power user. So these are basically the regional heads or maybe the managers of some business unit. This is the second most high level access which is granted. So you can see this user is having some particular region under its control, some particular you can see operations under his control. So a power user can perform basically he can create and maintain form Oracle Smart View for office worksheets, reports and financing reporting reports. Then he can create and manage user variables for the application, but he cannot delete them. that power is only with the service administrator. He can view substitution variables. He controls the approval process, performs actions on approval units to which they have right access, creates reports using financial reporting, assesses the repository to create folders and save artifacts, and he loads data using forms and data management. Next we come to the third user here, who is known as user only. So this user is basically a functional person. He would enter data into forms and submit them for approval. He analyzes forms using ad hoc features. He controls the ability to drill through to the source system. He also he can modify and access the financial reporting content, and he can preview the reports and books. So you can see in the picture there is one user. So this is the employee level, where who is going to perform various tasks. So all those rights are provided to user so that he can perform those tasks assigned to him. If a user is assigned for data management, he would be given rights to the role or rights to do ad hoc changes and to prepare and basically to form a data integration. Lastly, we have viewers. So they are just the it is the fourth level, you can see the last most, and they view and analyzes data through forms and data access tools. So typically for a viewer, this role should be assigned to executives who just need to view the business plans during the budgeting process. Now here the problem statements today we are having is, the first one, we have to create one user named as Tabby. We have to provide him planner role, and we have to allow him to do sales planning. So we'll quickly go to the application, and we have to first create user Tabby. We have to assign him such role, and then we have to see whether he can do sales planning or not. So this is vision application. This is planning, actually demo application of planning PBCS. And here I have logged in as administrator. So under tools we'll go to access control and create this user. So basically this is a demo environment, so we are able to create users from here. We'll go to manage users. These are the native users, and we can create or delete users. We can, in the sense, the service administrator can create users here, but in the real time this is not done from here. It is basically done through IDCS, that is Oracle Identity Cloud Service. So that is a platform where one can access management and offer identity management, and the single sign-on and identity governance is done through IDCS. So a proper URL is provided with the credential to the service administrator, and he is the only one who can create users and assign roles. But right now we are performing in a demo instance. So here I will go on this create tab, and we'll create a user named as Tabby, as asked in the ticket. I provided the name, basically the username, and I have provided the password to this user, and I will also provide the first name, and if I have some email ID I can provide over here. Now the roles I have already described, the four functional roles which is provided in the application. This is power user, service administrator, and below here you can see user and viewer. Rest of the roles are basically created, and according to the need of the business, more roles can be created suiting the environment and suiting the business organization, and what are their work and performance, and what are the control they require. So here I am creating tabby, a new user I am creating tabby, and the ticket says we have to create user tabby with planner role. Okay, so let us so here I would first assign him the group, that is user, and there is also a strategic planner, so this also I will assign, and I will save this. So we have created the user. Here you can see tabby, and now we will give him the application roles. Select that user and click on action tab here, and here you will find manage roles. So right now I'm providing him all of the roles which were available, because in the if you see here, we have to allow him to do sales planning. So there are various tasks to be performed under sales planning, so I am providing him the access to all those tasks. Now that we have created a user, I will first now to execute the sales planning, I have to first create a data form so that I could show you whether he is able to input the figures or not. So under create and manage there is forms tab. There is this icon which is create. Click on this icon and we'll create a new data form so that tabby can perform sales planning over here. We have to provide the form name, sales planning. Description is optional. Then we have to choose the cube, so this is for plan 1. Okay, so now either we can go click on next and we'll come to the page of layout, or straight away from here I can go to the layout page. This is from where we have to provide the structure of the data form. There are certain POVs that have to be fixed over here which we need in the data form. Now I want account first to be in the row column, so I just drill it down, select and drill it down, it comes to the row column. And I want period in the columns. So for sales planning, I am choosing entire GP, gross profit. In gross profit, I have total revenue as well as cost of sales. So I will actually take the I descendants of gross profit, basically descendants inclusive, so that I will get total revenue, I will get total cost of sales, and thereby Tabby can perform the sales planning. So here I've chosen the POV which I require. Save this, and we can see the preview from here. How does it look like? So our point of view is basically we have taken FY24 scenario plan, version working, entity. Here I have taken facilities resources. This is end product I have taken as no product, and here I have the entire sales total revenue, and then I have cost of sales, because we have taken I descendants of gross profit. So whatever children under gross profit are there, everything is coming over here. Now we'll go to the dimensions accounts and provide access to Tabby over here for gross profit, because he is going to do the sales planning. Let's select the cube here, plan 1. So here I have gross profit member. Just select this, and this icon to assign the access, what sort of access I want to give to the user. So here I want Tabby to have the access. So this is Tabby here, one of the users, and I will give him the access of write. And I'm giving him access for all the descendants of this member. This is gross profit. Okay, here we are providing add access for gross profit, so we want to give it for all the descendants and add it. Now in a different tab I will open the same instance with Tabby as user. Now I have logged in as Tabby over here, and under data he can view the data form which is there for sales planning required. Okay, so this is admin view, and administrator can view the form sales planning, but Tabby is having trouble. So here I'll come back to the administrator view and I will provide him more access. He's already a user, and under access control, let us see what are the roles he has been given. We can edit from here. Sorry, we have to go to manage users, application, not application role. So here I have to edit the group now. Okay, and he has to be a reviewer also. So I provided him as the roles as user, power users, reviewer, and a strategic planner. Save this. Let us refresh this environment for Tabby. Now see, Tabby is now able to see the sales planning. Now this is the importance of providing roles. This is one has to be the service administrator has to be very pertinent about the roles he is assigning. So Tabby is supposed to do sales planning, and he was just a user. He wasn't a power user. So here I have provided, once I provided him the role of power users, now he is able to view sales planning. So Tabby opens a form, and if you can see here, now Tabby can right now view the form, but it doesn't have access to write the data. So I will go to the administrator page again. Okay, so the roles, although all roles have been provided to him, close this, and through first let us see whether uh, the administrator is able to write into the form, because there are certain restrictions on the data, sometimes on the dimensions. So if I open, the service administrator is opening the form. Now you can see service administrator has the access to the form. He can write here, input the figures, let's say 2000, okay, and he can save the figure. So basically service administrator, the data has been saved. Service administrator has the right to, he has created this form and he has the right to input the figures and also submit it. We'll close this. So basically there are no dimension restrictions. The only thing is we have to see that role to tabby has been provided accordingly. Basically just a user role was enough, but in the demo application they have created here analyst and interactive user. This is basically used if this will access assignment for the users, and this is access assignment for power users. So now you see we were not given, we have not given the access assignment to tabby. Now we have that, we have provided that tabby is also able to access this form as well as input and submit the figures. So tabby would provide some of the data and he can submit. So accordingly he can do the sales planning. For the demo purpose, I have just shown you how he can enter, how he can access. I am just showing for the month of January. He can do it for the entire year, and this is for the scenario plan. And whatever is been loaded with actual, he can compare, and then he can have the scenario actual versus plan, and accordingly the entire sales planning can be done by Tabby. This is how we solve tickets where a certain role assignment has to be done and certain restrictions or certain permissions has to be allowed. If we come to the second ticket, there are two planner. One is Tabby, who can only view sales east entity, and second is Alina, who can view sales west. So here we have already created a user Tabby. Now we will go into the application and create second user Alina, and then we will provide them the rights, or maybe there are certain points over here which says that Tabby can only view sales entity. It means Tabby cannot view sales west entity. He can only view sales east. So we have to provide certain access, and we also have to restrict them from doing certain things. So for that we will go to the application, and first we have to create a user, second user, who is Alina. Now this analyst and interactive user, this is extra created in this demo, and this when we assign this, then only it will provide them access. Otherwise, if just selecting the power user or user over here would have solved the ticket. So these are the assigned groups over here. We have assigned them. Okay, so save it. Okay, Alina is already there. Okay, this is here, it is Alina. Let me check the groups assigned to Alina. So basically I have removed service administrator and super users. It was assigned to Alina, and also viewer and reviewer. Now we will provide roles, application roles to Alina. Now the ticket says there are two planners, Tabby and Alina. So we have created the two users over here. Now we have to provide them access to the entities that is mentioned in the ticket: Sales East and Sales West. Tabby for Sales East. So here we'll go to dimension and we'll go to entity dimension. So this is Sales East, and here 450 is Sales West. Now we'll provide access to the user. For Sales East entity, Tabby can only read and Alina can write. So according to the ticket, we have given role access over here. So Alina can write and Tabby can only read. So Tabby can only view this entity. Close this. Now for Sales West, it says Alina can view Sales West. So Alina will only have read access, and Tabby we will give write access. So for the entity 450, Alina can view and Tabby can write. Now for this purpose we again have to create a data form so that we can view their performance. Sales planning is already there, so I will make this as Salesforce planning. Cube is plan 1. Now we'll go to layout. I want account member in the row, and here I will take period in the column, as well as I want to take entity also. Now from here also you can edit the members. Click on this icon and you can choose the members from here, like FY24, and if you know which member you want in that dimension, you can straight away type in here. Now I will add another column that would be for entity 450, because we have two sales entity mentioned in the ticket. And then here again I will take any of the accounts so that I can tell you whether the access has been provided, it's working correctly. So account, okay, let's take again, we can take GP itself, similar to the last form that we have created. So here I'll take I descendants of gross profit. Okay, so I've saved this form and we'll see the preview. So there are certain figures already entered over here. This is already there in the system, that is why it is showing for these entity. Nevertheless, there are other columns where we can see the access that we have provided to both of them. Now here there is one more requirement. We have to provide the cell level security. Now if service administrators apply cell level security, it will deny access to certain cells that a user would normally have access to due to their regular security. So cell level security, you can say it is an exception to the existing member security. Like for example, a department manager requires access to all accounts in their own department, but only a certain account in all other departments. So with the usual security, the manager would have access to all the accounts across all the departments. But if they use cell level security, they can basically control the intersection of all accounts with the manager's department and only the specific account in all other departments. So here we are going to create the cell level security. We have actually created a data form named as Salesforce planning. So here I will make them as and this is created for the two of the entities, that is sales entity. So I'll make this as sales entity rights, and I can give the description here. So here I'm providing access to users in the sales entity. You can see cube, all the cubes get selected by default. Then go to add dimension, and here I am making this cell level security for entity. I have to choose the user first here. So this is Alina I'm choosing. Select at least one user or group. Okay. So Alina, I am denying it so Alina can only view sales west. And now we are giving access to Tabby. What all can Tabby do? So Tabby can only view sales east. So we want Tabby to can only view sales east. That is why we have denied write. So he cannot write over here. So according to the ticket, we have given the cell security here, and we can click on test to test it, and then we can save it. So this has been saved. So you can see over here in the summary, this is, you can see this one rule has been created defining the cell level security at this entity level. Now this is the administrator. First let us see when the administrator can view the form and if the form is correct. And this is Salesforce planning. So here administrator has the right to view, as well as here he can also input, that is he can also write the figures into this and he can save it. Now over here Tabby is here. I'll just refresh it once. and here tabby will go to data to access the data form. This is Salesforce planning. Now you can see the ticket was it was mentioned in the ticket, tabby can only view sales east entity. So here in this data form, sales east, the figures here, tabby cannot input the figures. This is already grayed out. So tabby inputs the figure in sales west. Let's suppose 10,000. Okay, and save this. Now we will log in as Alina. In the here only I will sign out and log in as Alina. Now this is Salesforce planning, and this I have logged in as Alina. Here you can see now Alina cannot input any figures in Sales West. It is only available for him to read in the read only mode. He can only view this. He or she can only view this. The user which we have restricted, and then we have provided him or her to the we have given the cell security. So due to that, Alina can only view figures in Sales West, although she can input figures in Sales East. So here let's suppose 2500, and I will save this. So here this figure, the data form is saved, and Alina was able to input figure in Sales East. While for Sales West, Alina does not have access. Alina can only view the ticket, view the entity. So this solves our second ticket. Now we'll see third ticket, where the problem is we have to allow some user to input rent expenses with GST 18% to be calculated on save event. So if you see, there are 4 parts in this ticket. First is allow certain user to input rent expense. So we have to create some user who can input into rent expense. So basically we have already created Tabby and Alina. They have the role of user as well as power user, so they already have the rights. If we are not creating any new user, so the already existing ones, both of them, they can input rent expense. Now second, every time rent expense is input in the application, it should automatically calculate, it should provide GST at the 18% GST it should calculate, and this is calculated on save event. That means every time rent expense is calculated, GST 18% should get calculated automatically. So this is a ticket where we are going to create a business rule. Let's see in the application. I will go to the dimension and first check rent expense member and GST member over there. So here you see 7420, this is the rent expense, 7420, and this is basically provision for income tax. All the taxes are here. Let's check GST if it is available. Okay, so 7940 is GST. So these two members already exist, we do not have to create it. So I will then now go to the rules and create one business rule. So through navigator, under create and manage, we'll go to rules. So under action and new object, we can create this rule. We have to provide the application type here, application name, then cube is plan 1. We have to provide it is a rule set template, or what is that we are creating. So we are creating a rule and we have to give a name. So I'll make it as GST calculation. Okay, we'll write the script now. I will fix certain dimension first. Base data is one of the dimension, this is fixed, one of the dimension members. Then fix the other dimension members. So first FY24, this is the year. Then the product I will take as P underscore 000. So both scenario and version we have fixed. Then I have to calculate here GST percentage. So the member is 7940. This is the GST account ID. So we have to calculate it on rent expense, and the account ID for rent expense is 7420. This should be multiplied with the percentage. Now here we have to create some variable. Okay, so here we'll click on create. Name is GST percentage. Here type is in percent. Okay, we want this on percent. Calculation will be on percent basis. Actually we are providing variable for percent. We are not fixing it at 18%. We are providing it from 5 to you can say which is applicable. There are various GST rates which are applicable, so here I would be selecting as from 5 the lowest to the 18. So here I have to provide some prompt. The name of the prompt I have to provide, like I can make it as GST percentage prompt. Now I have to provide the limits. So minimum I'm taking as 5 and maximum I'm taking as 18. So in this range any rates can be calculated. Now click on OK. So here you can see this one variable, this has been created, and cancel this is done. Okay, but it is not coming here. I have inserted, I've created a variable, and this is the one, and okay, I have to select, and I forgot that. So here I'm getting this variable. So this is the script, we have written it. Now we'll validate and save this. We'll check for the accuracy, whether if there is any error. So there is one error compiling formula for sonorate line. Okay. Semicolon is missing. Okay, see, the rule has been now validated, and it is rule validated with no errors, and now it is saved. So while writing business rule, you have to be very particular about the syntax that you're using. So we have validated, and let me first create a to execute this rule. I will actually need a data form, you can say, or we can do one thing. Yeah, here I have already created a smart view, so now we can do it here. So one entity is enough. So let me check the POV. This is the same? If so, I've taken FY22, and this is plan working P_000. So this is right, and here I will take the account, a different account, which is rent expense. So I have to take 7420. Okay. And I'll keep only this one. And okay, I will some figures were there, so in the rent expense I have submitted it, and I have now deleted that figure, so we can perform the calculation. There's one more member I want to bring in here. This is the GST which we have created, 7920. Refresh it. So we haven't deployed the rule as yet. We'll come here and validate and deploy the rule. Okay, and now we will launch it. Now it is asking me for this variable, so here I've taken it as 12, so right now I will calculate it at 12 only. So every time we launch it, it will ask you the prompt, and you can change the variable there. So here let's input 10,000. Let's suppose this is the rent, and submit this. So okay, this is not calculating. This is the rule has ran successfully, it has launched, but this is not calculating. I'm again launching this rule. I've launched it, and I will refresh it from here. There's some error coming. So we haven't actually refreshed the database, and I was taking a wrong member. So now you can see the rule has worked successfully, and every time we're going to enter some of the figure here, it will going to calculate the rent percentage. So I hope you've understood all the how to solve such kind of tickets. If you have any queries, you may write into us at www.bspsolutions.com. Thank you.